Orion's vast war party was moving swiftly through the southern tip of LAURELORN, weaving through the hunting trails between the Oak of Ages and the Kingsglade. There was no time to stop and rest, as traders to the forest were in the midst of a barter. The sacred cloak of Isha, divine elven goddess of the harvest, was being given to the Cult of Pleasure, in return for the Mark of Slaanesh. Orion's 2 lieutenants were being put to work, gathering fresh recruits to replace the losses he took repelling the corruptive herds of Morgur's beastmen. They would need every blade that could be gathered for the coming clash, for the fallen Glade Lord would surely not take to the battlefield alone. LAURELORN had never been in such disarray. Bretonnians pillaging our hunting villages, creeping corruption of Morgur slowly eating away at the sacred forests, and sworn protectors of the Glade falling to the call of the ruinous powers. Such is the chaos that all of the scouts and wardens of the deep woods have been called back from their posts, threats from outside the forest now vastly outnumbering and outweighing those coming from within the deepest woods, still hostile to the Azrai. As all of LAURELORN marshals for war, Lords Daith and Findle of Torgavon and Widrioth extend an offer to Orion. Both are willing to add their banner to his own, but only if he is able to prove worthy in battle against their chief foes. He sends messengers quickly out with his acceptance of their challenge, and then sends orders to Glade Lord Icarin to move to the southwest entrance of the Great Woods, and keep close watch on the vile beastmen that were currently rampaging through the ruins and torn countryside that once was the lush province of Castle Carcassonne. A new spellweaver by the name of Vilgen had also joined Orion's band, and had been granted the title of Master of Drums, for she was far more aggressive than the other Azrai mages, unusual for one following the path of life, easily able to rip through a front line with spells and blade alike. A retinue of blade singers was sent to join her command, but Vilgen would not receive any Wild Rider or Warden support until she proved herself first in battle. None could serve Orion without passing this test, and the Weaver was eager to rip apart the foes of the forest. Oh, she would have aplenty. The ancient treeman Durthu had declared the greenskins to be purged at all costs, and Orion quickly joined his warhorn with that of the treekin, eager to spill more blood himself. Let it begin. And welcome on in everyone to part 4 of our Orion campaign. We are going to start today's episode off with a battle against the corrupted Wood Elves that is being led by Eveline here, the Glade Lord. She has herself a nice retinue of Wood Elves, but they have something special to them, being the Gift of Slaanesh. So at some point randomly during the battle, I'm guessing because this says it's a passive ability, but it doesn't actually say what triggers it, these guys will take a ton of damage, which will likely kill the unit, and it will summon in a unit of Chaos Spawn of likely Slaanesh, which is going to be quite interesting. So a lot of these guys are completely unbreakable, including these Glade Riders down here, which our own are not, you'll notice. They just have the keep the distance and keep shooting. But these Glade Riders are completely unbreakable, and a few of these other units are as well, so it's not going to be an easy fight. Well, this initial battle against this Wood Elf army is going to be quite simple, but then they are going to erupt into spawn. We've got some new units that have been added into Orion's army, at least units with new names. We do have the Rays of the Frozen Heart, which are going to be Dryads that have come on in after we crumped that last Wood Elf, or the Tree army. They decided to join on up. We've got the Dual Sword Infantry being renamed to the Reapers of the Huntier, the Eternal Wardens. We've got the Eternals themselves, and then the Shields of the Forest. We've got the Eyes of the Forest for the Deepwood Scouts, and then Isha's Messengers as well. Orion's Might coming from one of the viewers there. And the rest of these guys just being normal Glade Guard. Got some normal Wild Riders and Glade Riders. But there are more names that have been added in on the other army there, led by Icarin. Let's, without further ado, get to the battle against the Wood Elves of the corrupted forest. That'll begin.
This naive and foolish Glade Lord has allowed his mind to be poisoned by the Prince of Pleasure. The Dreaming Woods are a forbidden place of great malice and deception, and in his folly, our erstwhile brother has been twisted by the dark deeds within. There can be no further mercy. As I am born from Kurnos' spirit, so shall these dark servants be purged by it. Let them face The rage of the forest! Orion!
Let them face the hordes of the forest. Indeed. Let's get this thing going. Got caught up looking at all the lovely little fireflies. We'll get our front line set on up. We do have to keep in mind that no matter what, these guys are going to be caught up, no matter their weakness. At some point, there will be a bunch of spawn that erupt. We will have to deal with them, so kind of keep the forces as such. The dual swords should cut through the Eternal Wardens pretty quickly. Or I guess just the Eternal Guard. Those are not the upgraded Warden variant. We'll grab the other Spearmen, throw them on this side. And then we'll have the Dryads hiding over in the woods over here. I said hiding. There we go. Perfect. We'll let them charge on over. We have now scouted out the enemy Glade Riders. Perfect. We do outnumber them in the cavalry department, so we're going to kind of have one Glade Rider on the side here to kind of shoot some arrows at them. Let the Wild Riders go over the front. Same thing over here on this side. I'm sure there are some Glade Riders hiding away. There they are. They have been located. Actually, let's keep our boys back a little bit. Let them stream on over and get turned into pincushions before we bring our cavalry in. Off on the side with our Deepwood Scouts. We don't have the Swift Shiver shards there. It's almost impossible. I have always had a hard time saying the name of the Swift Shiver. I'm probably still saying it wrong. We'll grab all of our Glade Riders. Put them in guard mode so we don't have them rushing in foolishly. They're not bad in combat. They have some pretty decent stats against infantry. But we'll want to make sure we are the ones deciding when to send them in, because otherwise they may get caught up by some spawn of Slanesh, which would be the end for them pretty quickly. We'll have our two heroes. I'd like to have them both kind of in and amongst the archers, but I'd also like them to be moving up and kind of sniping out the enemy lord. We'll have her take the other side there, and Orion take the charge. He's got all of his extra bound spells and then the Horn of the Wild Hunt, so he should be able to rip through them pretty quickly. Alright, battle begin. Glade Lord failed to resist the lure of Ruinous powers. Slay her and her corrupted retinue. Either they're brothers or they're not. We haven't quite figured it out. Noticed Orion was a bit confused there on the beginning. Start pushing them forward a bit. They will just retreat into their spears if they see us charging in, so we'll want to keep that in mind. Let's bring the Dryads up the side there. You two, if you can both get some shots on either the Glade Rider or the Glade Lord or the Glade Riders up front, either one would be great. Drop down some shots down the front there. You guys want to get turned into pincushions, by all means. By all means. Go ahead and charge down these guys on the side here. Have our cavalry rush down these Glade Riders in the center. We can have ours just kind of hang out on the side here and keep throwing stuff at them. Have the Dryads moving through. They are going to charge them probably back into this. They're going to attempt to run back into the spear, so we'll charge them down and then pull back. Let them keep firing those arrows on in. Yeah, they decided to charge and get destroyed, which is an interesting, bold strategy. Let's grab our front line here, except for the Dryads, push them forward. Let our archers continue to kind of lead the way there. Cavalry's pull on away from the spears. These Dryads are in a bit of a bad spot. Let's pull through just a little bit, but stay far enough back we don't get torn to shreds by those archers. They don't have much armor at all. Which makes sense. They're but Dryads after all. All the spearmen are surrounding our Glade Captain. Let's pull her back and let these guys charge in and help out. Go ahead and move in on these guys here. You guys charge forward. Glade Riders, switch to melee mode. Hunt them down. Let's go ahead and send the cavalry through. Enemy spearmen have gotten a little bit too far up. Start blending through these lads in the back here. They flee, but does it matter? Pull you out of the fight. Come on now. Move faster. while the Rangers come on around. I don't think anyone... Oh, they've got some guys trying to sneak up on us from behind here. Go ahead and finish them off. Rotate those Blade Guard. You go ahead and pick off these Blade Guard that are just kind of waddling around. Should be an easy slay. Enemy Lords down. We don't have to deal with that group of nonsense spawning. Alright, we're chasing them off pretty well here. Give him another charge. Orion, come on around. Well, I guess you can just charge on in. He doesn't do great against Spearmen, but I trusted him. Put on the Wolves in the back line here. Our Blade Captain has not been able to escape. In fact, she may fall. Well, with the help of your cavalry, please. Keep an eye on them. Yeah, she's fleeing, but I don't know if she'll be able to escape. We may have to hire in another one. Unfortunate. Come on. You can escape, Dulas. I believe in you.
I will crush them.
Get over here and help. We can get her. We can get her out. No one left behind. Yeah, now she may have a really bad time as the spawn just erupt. Oh, they come out no matter what. Run, lads, run. Even if they've already been slain, the spawn show up. Alright, let's drop down some prey of Alathrema on these guys here. Keep the cavalry retreating. They should be much faster than the spawn. These guys here are gonna have a bad day. Come on, Dulas, you can escape. Nope, she's slain. Unfortunate. Those spawn had some hate for our captain there. Drop down the hounds just for some kind of free damage. They don't have a lot of armor, but they've got lots of free, or like extra resistance. These spawn of Slaanesh. Keep firing in there. Doesn't look like there's any spawn behind us, so we are safe from the other end there. We just got to keep the cavalry moving. They are not really rated for fighting spawn. Our spearmen and archers can do great. We're just going to need help. Deal with those last three. You guys can switch targets to these other ones. Our Blade Guard are going to really need some help. Orion, charge them down. Drop down some more arrows. Our cavalry is just, I don't know if they're going to make it. You guys keep pulling through. You guys switch out of melee mode. Keep firing those arrows on in. We've just got to keep retreating, but we need to do so in a way that keeps our archers safe. He doesn't have great aim. Let's fire on these guys instead. You guys go ahead and help out. Cavalry keep going through. Alright, Orion's doing a very good job dealing with the rest of these Slaaneshi warriors here. Man, there's so many fallen. Blade Riders, get over here and help out. Our spearmen are getting absolutely shamashed by these spawn here. Keep filling them full of arrows. We don't want to lose too many here. They fall for a worthy cause, as this is a corruption we definitely can't let stand. All that fall will be remembered. Through. Yeah, our cavalry really needs to get out of there. Alright, we've dealt with all of the spawn over here. Let's go ahead and turn the missile mode back on for my boy here. Eternals, go on, pull away. Let's get you actually to survive this battle. Start layering down the hate on these guys in the back line here. Perfect. More prey of Athelrema if we can. Get him on forward. They are filling the Slaaneshi spawn with arrows. This needs to be done faster because we are losing more soldiers as the time goes on here. Scoot up, start picking off the more healed ones. Same thing with you. You guys start taking out the ones on the back line. Make sure these spawn don't go after our Blade Riders in the back group. Pray, drop it down. Yeah, our spearmen are gone. 10 left. Hopefully they manage to survive the battle. Hopefully, hopefully.
Edge them! Battle ready! For the eternal realm!
Keep pulling on away from these spawn here. There's too many friendlies in there, but let's go ahead and have you charge on in.
You have my spear.
Your command?
Let them actually go ahead and give it a charge. These three can come on over and help out with this group. I think 3 groups charging at once. We'll lose some lads on the way in, but we should be able to at least do some damage back.
Death is nothing!
A couple of the spawn life fallen. They're cutting through them there now.
Wild riders!
They'll lose a few, but we will have plenty of opportunities to replenish here in the forest.
Yes! It shall be done!
On through.
For our lady!
Pull away once more here.
LAURELORN!
Yeah, plenty of those arrows making purchase of these squidgy little backs. Once the rest of the archers actually arrive, that'll be great. Allow us to lose less of our cavalry.
Hungry for battle.
A costly battle here,
Swiftly.
purging this corrupted Glade Lord.
Wild riders! Swift!
Look how fast those Sludgy spawn are moving.
Accept!
Let the cavalry deal with that.
Of LAURELORN!
Finish off the rest of these spawn. Charge in, a few of them getting pokes. That one crumples, 2 of them fall. Looks like the rest of them are going down pretty quick. We've already whittled their health down. And the Cloak of Isha has been reclaimed, albeit at great cost. And we do limp away from that battle with most of our soldiers intact. We did lose our Glade Captain Dulos there, who was actually chosen of Ariel, so we're going to get a stern talking to once we do get Ariel summoned. 2 chosen of the forest fall today. We will go ahead and release. Nah, they are 1 with the forest now. It was a cruel joke. We gain ourselves a War Dancer Drummer, which we are going to go ahead and hand off to Vil'jin, our new spell singer. But we now have the Cloak of Isha, giving us less corruption in the local province, a increase to melee defense of 5, more spell resistance, and then the Cloak of Isha, which is a heal and a spell or a damage resistance of plus 45%, as long as he drops below 25% health. So a nice little "you can't kill me"
Master of the
final hurrah there. So with Orion, what we will do is take the turn to grab ourselves another Glade Captain. We'll have to recruit them on in.
Of trees.
And we can get one that is strong, cunning, or fleet-footed. Danas. Poison attacks are pretty great. 10% extra weapon strength is also no joke. Let's go for Delenia here with the poison attacks, so we can kind of help double down on anything Orion is attempting to hunt, adding poison to them and dropping their speed and all sorts of other goodies, all of their damage and such. So we'll let Orion sit here and replenish
Lord of the forest.
in camp stance.
My will is yours.
Then we'll use the World Root stance to jump underneath and go attack Masiforkal. We do need, in order to confederate with Widrioff, we need to win 3 battles against the Greenskins. So if there are none that are actually nearby besides these 2 here, I do think the Wood Elves, led by Durthu, are going to wipe out the Skull Smashers no problem. Even though they have quite a few up here, I think that'll be a short matter to deal with them. We can come on over and attack Masiforkal, and for 3 turns in a row, if we have to, just sack the settlement. That way we get our 3 battles won, and quickly confederate up with Widrioth. For these other lads here, we do have to fight with the Bretonnians, which would mean breaking deals with Corone, though, which is a bit unfortunate. We could instead go bully Luin Leonke and keep the Fey Enchanters alive, which we may go ahead and try to do. We got many decisions to make in our wars ahead, and also we have to see how aggressive Karakiran wants to be. They are not only at war with me, but they're also fighting against the Golden Order, so we'll see if they decide to send everything our way, or they bully the Empire first, as Balthazar is pretty much just right. This is his starting province here, so he's likely fighting them as we speak. Excellent, excellent. We've got a good deal of gold.
I heed.
Means we can afford more goodies for this army here, led by Vil'jin. As stated in the intro, she is not going to be getting any support from the Wildwood Rangers or Wardens. just Glade Guard and the War Dancers. So we're going to grab ourselves some more Azrai Spear War Dancers here. I think we should grab 2 of them. I do think we will give them some Glade Riders, though, as that is not... I'm not counting that as the Wild Riders. Glade Riders are not really as good in combat, and they're more for launching arrows at fools, so... We'll grab some additional Missile Cavalry, and we'll try to do some damage with a small army here. Excellent to keep the forest safe from all the little incursions we'll have to deal with. Okay, Orion has some skills we'll have to pass out, but in the meantime here... We could get a non-aggression with Corone. Nah, you're likely going to get kneecapped. I am sorry to let you know.
Glade Lord.
Yes.
Kurnos needs sacrifices, and you look quite tasty. Ikarin has not been moved. This I do know. We're going to leave him. I'm glad they burned this down and fixed up the place. It is all corrupted now, though, which is not great. We'll keep him in an ambush stance, trying to catch the Beastmen off guard there, because I did see that Morgur was in an ambush last turn. So he's sneaking around here somewhere, and he's got a Shaggoth around there, too.
I thirst for the hunt.
We don't trust it. Orion, the lad in charge himself. Let's go ahead and give you... Making him faster is probably not a bad idea for Expeditious Endeavor. But I think we still had to go ahead and start making his soldiers a bit stronger. So we're going to go ahead and grab the extra experience per turn. And then we are going to go for a combination of Bolts of the Forest and not the wings. Where's the cavalry? Striking branches. Yeah, here we go. So we're going to go for the striking branches and Bolts of the Forest. We will start with the bolts, as this will be the biggest increase to our overall damage to start. We can get better speed, charge bonus for all of our knights.
God King of the Deepwood.
Or Dodan. Or we just give you some more health. Or the final point into spread control. We are going to get out and start fighting pretty soon here. So let's go ahead and give you the bottomless quiver. Maximize your ammunition there, and then we can go for the endurance of the oak. He hasn't really been in combat just yet, but we have realized how fastly they do melt away. And they're really, really hard at breaking free from clumps of spears too, which is, I guess, understandable. Ryan, we may have to press pass with Torgavon here. I'd rather not, as they both dislike it. And we're deteriorating with most of the folks here. We have to keep fighting in order to keep things up.
Lord of the Glade.
Ikarin, you are going to be not moving. You can also jump Orion through the deep roots. Start dealing with anyone we want to, kind of out and about. Ryan's camp is now being held by the last defenders, which is at least a good change from the undead that are over here holding the haunted forest. I would kind of like to jump over here and fight them, but we know the garrison's going to be way tougher than normal, since we are in Radious. We have underestimated the garrisons in both SFO and Radious to our dismay in the past year, so we'll probably stay here for now, keep the Oak of Ages cleansing. We'll jump on out to one of the others before too long. Alrighty then. Outposts available in Arguilan. Don't mind if I do. Secretly at Karak Norn, they have the best. They've got the best stuff. Well, so it shall be. Do you have... Nothing too crazy, but the Starfire Shards will be great to have. Same with the Hagbane tips. Great for either demons or undead. We'll build a very expensive outpost. And we shall pass the turn. Alright, Grom the Pounch was discovered ambushing. Where at? Did he get defeated in his pursuits? It looked like this army came on up and clashed with him. This one likely lost.
Lord of the Glade.
But still, Grom got taken out in the process. Got some pretty potent defenders here. The Broken Tooth Armored Boys. Forest Goblins with Sword. They've got Poison. Those guys look like they kind of perform very similarly to the Tier 3. Interesting. So a little bit better than Hobgoblins in base game. Alright, we've got an outpost going in, and we've got whispers from afar. Some of the Azrai have wandered far from LAURELORN. An opportunity has arisen that might bring them back into the fold. Go to this location to find out more. The bowmen have been wiped out, haven't they? Alright, where's this location at? Zoom all the way up to the LAURELORN forest. Well, if Forest wishes we go up that way. We definitely can. It looks like this hawk here is on fire. Horrifying. And we need to raid the Skull Smashers. And then Cousins in Arms, we need to fight against the Norskins, and then we can confederate LAURELORN Forest. That we can do. That we can do. Okay, so then we use Orion to jump up north then. We'll spend one more turn replenishing because we definitely need it. We'll have Deliana go all the way around here. This is her right.
Reporting. The hunt shall be tireless.
Take your position. We can't afford for Ikran to leave. Simply because we don't know where the beastmen down here are. They've destroyed everything. Which, good for us, but we'll need that stuff to be replenished at some point here. That costs 3,000, which is far too expensive. 8 turns before this, and then if the Oak of Ages, we need just 15,000. Which gives us more growth in all provinces and unlocks the Confederation missions with Arguilan, Talzin, and the Heralds of Ardiel. Which would be great. We're not quite ready to own all of the trees all at the same time just yet. We would be defending on many different fronts. Granted, Orion is very good at this. So,
Listen to the sounds.
you are going to listen to the sounds also over here. We'll have you go fight with the
Weaving
greenskins while Orion goes up north. I don't trust Clan Angren not to declare war on us randomly here because they will remember forever that we trespassed on them, and they do tend to take out Skavenblight pretty quickly.
I commune.
Do you now? Well, let's give you some more Winterheart guards, since we can have 3 of these guys out at the same time. Oh wait, I said that she wasn't going to get access to the
Can I offer
extra defenders, didn't I? Alright, well what we'll do is kick out these guys here then. Bilgen, I apologize. I gave you some troops you shouldn't have.
I am needed.
In our own story here we've created. Alright, so you will lose your Winterheart guards.
Orders.
Stay in your ambush.
Present.
Eventually we can start grabbing in some more troops from Arguilan as well. That would be great. We'll grab 2 more Glade Guards. We have 6 total. And then we'll have just a couple more spears. This army will be pretty solid here.
Yes.
Fairly deadly. Alright, Orion, one more turn of replenishment, and then we can get on back out to the fray. I can't wait. Gotta get some more gold to upgrade the Kingsglade there. Or not moved, Orion. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. We get to some diplomacy with the Golden Order sold.
What brings you here to disturb my work?
Well, I want all of your money.
All right.
Fair enough. He's a very agreeable fella.
What? At your service.
Queen of the Tides also is apparently very agreeable.
Aye.
I will grab a mission to slay. Oh, there's a Grom on both. He's also a goblin. Okay, I think we'll go for Ratgash then. He is the most points that is not coming from the Broken Tooth tribe that's about to get wiped out by a horde of spell singers. Alright. A new bounty has been claimed. We have some gold sitting left over, which is perfect. We can actually go ahead and grab
I weave the living forest.
you some more soldiers, more War Dancer Azrai there. And then one more of the... We could really use a hero in your army, but you don't get any of them just yet either. We'll be able to get more soon. Alrighty then, that's a turn.
If I had my way, the wild hunt would trample you into the earth.
Don't declare war. You don't want any of this. Oh, I absolutely promise you do not want any of this. Let's not bring Arguilan in, because if they actually choose to not help us, they will, they'll break all their agreements. Alright. Brain Basher was up there ambushing as well. I think they have several armies out in a dangerous spot for themselves. We can jump Vigilant through.
I share the forest's
Time for your mission against the enemy. Go forth and conquer.
with the land.
Ikarin, your Captain Toltrin here, gained some more skills. Happy to see it. Give some more income. We definitely need it. And I guess we'll go for the extra mobility as well. Yep. Get your passive abilities cruising along.
I thirst for the hunt.
Alright, you can jump through the world routes, right? Good sir. Should be able to. Up to LAURELORN Forest. Away! Hopefully they don't mind that we have just trespassed in their territory. I guess as soon as we fight against the Norskins and win, we do become allies with them.
Protects its sons and daughters. Tread carefully.
You at war with anyone? Beastmen that I don't know? Interesting. Oh, Orion, can you move after traveling through the world routes?
Master of the wild hunt. I will make it
Man. Alright, let's go clear out this forest encounter then. Trespassing will have diplomatic repercussions. What do we care?
so. I go.
Marienburg is actually expanded a bit there. Lovely to see. Okay, so we've got some Norscan raiders. That's quite handy. A call for aid from the Elves of LAURELORN. A force of Norscan raiders has penetrated deep into the Empire lands. Giggity. Normally, such a raid would focus the armies of men. This group brings with them a cabal of Famir, creatures of the mists and fog who may be able to penetrate the forest borders. That sounds awful. The Famir often stray from the main group to perform profane rituals. A targeted attack at them, at this point, would end this threat to the forest. Alternatively, you could attack the main Norscan force and perhaps gain the favor of the Empire. Oh, interesting. So hunt the Famir, or attack the main force. Well, you know what Orion's about. This will face us a stronger force in battle, and it should make the Empire happy, which will at least keep us off their backs until we're ready to sacrifice them. See what they bring to face us. Okay, a fair army. Auto Resolve really doesn't like their chances, though. And we can definitely use this lake to our advantage. Set the boys up on the hill and just rain down a hail of arrows upon them. Let's get to it. Alright. Who would have thought the Norskins would have been the ones that earn our ire first? Figured it would have been the undead. Okay, so let's set up so we can really take advantage of this hill. We are going to make sure our cavalry destroys those ice wolves quickly. We can really blanket the area and arrows like this. We'll throw these guys out on the flanks. They can move around quite a bit. Fire arrows and pull back, although they have a lot of chariots, so we really don't want them to go head of the main line too much.
Wildwood Rangers.
Wildwood Rangers, we'll have our two swordsmen kind of all along the contours of the hill here.
Defenders of LAURELORN.
Awaiting orders.
Waystalker, we'll have the cavalry ready to ride down those Norscan warhounds. Archers up front ready to harass them as soon as they spawn in. We're going to put all of our focus on dealing with the speedy boys on this side, and then we'll rotate over. Okay, so we need deploy the raids of the forest and such. We'll go ahead and throw these guys in the woods. Hide for me. They should be able to pretend to be trees. There we go. Trees have a hard time hiding in the woods. Who would have thought? Troops in the center. Spearmen off to the side there. Push our archer line a little bit more forward than we have them now. I don't foresee them really sending many guys around the side.
Your command.
Form up.
Wildwood Rangers.
These guys can attack whichever position needs help the most, and Orion can just kind of hold the front down for as long as he needs to. All right. Let's get them all deployed up in the way they need to. In their groups. Two in guard mode. All three captains set into position, and let's get this battle started. Scoot forward a bit. You guys scoot forward as well, just kind of start harassing these, maybe not the warhounds, just start taking apart the Marauder horsemen there instead. Let you go around the woods, or the pond here. An interesting strategy. We attacked them, or so it's counting. They're going to pull back, which allows us to take even a better position. We will do. Stop anything from coming through on this side. Bring these guys up. Fire on pretty much whoever they want. Ryan. We shall send you to start chucking stuff at some of these Marauder Berserkers. That's easily their most dangerous unit. They don't really want to fight my rangers at all, do they? Drop down the Hounds of Orion. You guys have to run for it a little bit there, but that's a lot of guys all in one spot. Sounds great to me. Hounds are hungry. Whoa, did not pull them back fast enough. Well, luckily those chariots decided not to charge, which is pretty great there. Pull back Orion a little bit. We've done a good bit of damage already. Yep, Operation Come Back Behind the Line of Spears is a go.
No! We are tireless!
Orion moves so fast we can just kind of turn him around. Start chucking more spears into their line. They've got no armor, so that should do a ton of damage. Scoot back just a little bit this way. Here come those chariots. Ready to ride to their doom. Orion's being caught up by chariots himself. Looks like we should be able to start firing on them. Let's pull him back a little bit here. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and say no to you trying to go around our unit there. Around and destroy. You guys move up and help tearing apart that group of hounds. No, don't move forward. You just got to shoot these guys. That's all I really want you to do. Alright, Orion, we need more hounds on this huge clump of lads. Ryan's an absolute uber Chad hanging down in the middle there. We'll charge the boys in just a moment. We're going to continue to let them get torn apart by the arrows for a moment there. Oh, I didn't realize they would move forward into the hounds. That was not what I was looking for them to do at all. You go ahead and stop there. You go ahead and stop you there. Charge through. Finish them off. Go ahead and fire some extra goodies in there. Go ahead and tear apart their Marauder Hunters. Do the same thing with those spearmen there. Try to go around with some spears. Catch them. And now we send in the boys. Cut them down. You the brave. It's this absolute horde of Norskins. I think we've got them routed on the other end there. Let's go ahead and have you guys start launching rounds where we need them. Branch rays deal with them. We'll bring our other cavalry around. Flank. I said around to flank. Otherwise, that's not a flank. Ryan's taking some damage. He's doing just fine. I trust him. Kronos' Talon drops down. Go ahead and fire on these hounds there. Kind of the units is doing the most damage for them. Push through into these horse masters. Those guys full of holes. Give these guys a new belly button. Our hero does need to pull back. Our glade captains have a tendency of getting caught by all of the enemies there. At the same time, charge in and break this group. Whatever the case, or whatever the cost. Need to make sure our glade captain escapes this time. Orion, you go deal with this weird hunter here. Foolish Norskins. What did you think this was going to happen? What did you think was going to happen? Ryan's going to go punch this poor fool in the face. That was a ton of damage. Give him the old yah. He's not getting shot at with arrows. Orion just kind of walks around him. And dominance over Norska assured. We're going to make sure we hunt down the rest of these fools here. I will catch you all back to the campaign map. A decisive victory indeed. Norska got booted. And now that should secure the allegiance of the Wood Elves up here. We'll go ahead and release those captives. Now we'll abduct them. The Elves of LAURELORN have heard your exploits against the Northmen and are grateful that the Marauders' incursions into their lands surrounding their forest have subsided as a result. A fleet-footed messenger has approached from LAURELORN Forest to inform you they are open to forming a confederation. Alternatively, you can leave them in stewardship over their glade, and they will channel its energies to you. Install as a grove tender, which will give us extra diplomatic relations with LAURELORN and more health for their forest, or we will just simply confederate with them, which will actually make all of the other Wood Elves angry. But now we have a foothold up here in the north, and we can start defending and laying waste to even more settlements in the name of Kurnos. We confederate. Easy choice. We are now very negative in our income, though. And why is that? Because we have several new armies out and running around. Alright, Sigwulf has been defeated. And we gain LAURELORN Forest. One of the worst kind of areas to deal with in the entire game. Oh, I see. You have been busy.
Can I offer assistance?
Recently colonized. While LAURELORN was out here laying waste to the countryside. They even own Middenheim. What were you guys up to?
How can I assist you?
Just destroying absolutely everything. Well, we can't afford all of these armies.
Lord of Athelloren.
Elendilling, I think, is the leader of LAURELORN originally. He's got Way Watchers in his army.
At your service.
You do not. You have several captains, and you are a Woodseer of Light.
Your request is.
Or we've got Ixera here, the Woodseer of also Light. He's got some Eternal Wardens in his force. I think we'll go ahead and disband this group here. Let's see where it puts us. Negative 2,000. Both of these armies are very... I don't know what these Nurglish forces are going to look like here. Is it a bunch of Kurgan? Those guys look like Kurgan to me. They've got a bit more armor. They're not bad in a scrap, but they will do pretty poorly against any amount of Wood Elves.
These are dark times.
Do we keep both of these armies? We'll get rid of Stratthought here, which is an unfortunate name. Yeah, you're only rank 2. See you later. And we could have Orion start up some more wars. Looks like we weren't at war with the Plague Bearers just yet, so let's go ahead and see how much nonsense we can get into to kind of lower our overall upkeep, as that is what Orion is about here. First, pass out these skills. Magic stealing. Punishment rate's really not a bad one to go for, but let's continue to make the arrows in our army even better there. So more reload time reduction and missile strength, both. 6% and 8%. Making them pretty deadly. 30 missile strength on those guys and 34 on the others. Going out a volley how many seconds? Every 7.5 seconds there's a volley coming on out.
Protector of
Good.
Oak.
Go ahead and give you your bottomless quiver, and then probably the spread control since all the plagues are out and about.
King in the woods.
For Diliana here, I think we want to go for Dance of Loek and Possessed by the Trickster. And then we continue to boost income and mobility.
The hunter.
Sweet. So Orion can't quite reach... Oh, we own Black Pit too. And they've done a good bit of expanding here, haven't they? Getting the forest lookouts. Let's grab the guard platform here. We don't have a lot of gold, and we don't want to spend too much of it on our new acquirances. We kind of want to let it pay for itself. The Verdant Heart of LAURELORN we would be able to unlock once we have completed the Ritual of Rebirth. Gives us awakened forest attrition for enemy armies. Medicinal plants, timber, trade from tariffs faction-wide, and then more Waystalker recruitment. Seems pretty good to me. Well, 5,000 for the vineyard. That'd be way too expensive. Do you think all of these are likely do need the Trickster's Gallery? I kind of want to delete it, though, and instead have LAURELORN be more about the actual archers of the forest. We do need both of these buildings, though, for several of the different high-tier units. Where are the ones that are coming out of the archer line? Yeah, such as the Starfire Shaft Way Watchers that are counting as Tier 4 units. Well, that's terrifying. Same thing with the Way Watcher Sentinels. Tier 4, huh? Oh, interesting. So they've got it all the way up to 5 on this one. They've got a different tiered system. That's good to know. So as we rebuild LAURELORN, what are the forests that count as part of it? We've got Salzenmund, Middenheim, Dieterschaffen, and Wrecker's Point, which is owned by Marienburg. Okay, so who all is at war with
There's no
you? Just about everyone.
infection or death.
I think trying to get Marienburg on side is not a bad call. We'll roll with the Empire Secessionists. Plus, it'll allow us to kind of keep their part of the woods nice and purged.
Yes.
Allowing us to start getting forest health, even though they are...
Greetings on behalf of the
Yeah, so let's
Empire.
grab trade
Now, what
and
brings
non-aggression.
you here with a sheathed blade?
And then we will offer to join your war against the Fecundites. They're fighting Reikland too. And then you will almost give us military access. Fair enough, I guess. Let's see how much gold you're willing to give us for all this. 5,000?
Fine.
That we can do. That we can do indeed.
Ready.
Sigma's will.
Most factions are now kind of willing to make deals with us. Carcassonne is the Fey Enchantress, so we will make deals with her, I think, alone as far as the human factions go. Perhaps with Reikland later on,
Present, future,
if he can,
'tis but a thin veil that divides them.
if the Empire of Man can actually hold their own.
If you desire it,
All right.
At your service.
Anad?
Alright,
Yes.
yep. Who all are you guys at war with besides the Tree Hammers, who are really not a concern? We can join the war with them pretty easily.
So,
And y'all are fighting with the Warherd of the One Eye, which have been already kind of pushed back. Likely over here in the marshes of Corone. Strength rate is not very high. So how much...
what?
What do you need?
Going back to our new allies there with the Empire.
Sigma's will.
But hello, Marienburgers.
Approach us.
I will
friend.
also now join your war.
Make
Oh, they're
your
not fighting
offer.
with... I thought they were. Okay, just Midland then. Ryland, who are you fighting against? Sylvania and such? As well as
The
Marienburg?
Empire.
Fighting against Scrag. Trying to find new
Blade
wars that
Lord.
make sense. We are really deteriorating with all these guys. They don't like deals with Carcassonne. None of them do. Interesting. Widrioth is going down quickly. The Confederation with the others hurts us quite badly. A war in LAURELORN would be bad. We need to confederate up with these other two post-haste. Since we have 11,000 positive at the moment, we are going to leave all these other armies in. Let's go ahead and grab... Because the Forest Lookouts would allow us to grab the Spears of Orion, which we would need also the Azrai Armory for. Could just grab the Azrai Armory. The Roots of Gairon is another alternative here, giving a Spell Slinger that would allow us to get... want a Spell Slinger of Life for heals, but this would allow us to kind of heal up our Cavalry and Orion both. Not a bad call. Yeah, let's go for the Roots of Gairon. Back in Kingsblade is where we'll put the Azrai Forge for now. Spend a little bit more gold. Vineyard is not actually all that great. We're going to go ahead and demolish the vineyard.
Your request is reasonable.
And you guys did just rebuild Hergig, which is very dangerous.
Glade Lord.
All of the corruption in the area is a bit of a mess, too. Ellen Delling, what have you done?
Fancy a play.
Hero of Nurgle, look at all the hero. They look cool on their portraits.
Can I offer assistance?
Well, you just hang out in Middenstag, and you go ahead and hang out in Hergig. I wanted to jump into an ambush, but neither one of them have any movement, so such is not the way. I am receiving a quick call from the Lady Wizard. We'll go ahead and pick up this episode as soon as we are done. And we're back. So I think for our next strategy here, we are definitely going to be purging the Nurgle's corruption from these forests. As you can see, there's little tendrils poking on through, little squidgies. These do not belong here. We shall be purging Nurgle all the way back to the Brass Keep with Orion's forces, and then we should, after that, have a good standing with the Empire forces that remain. We can start handing some of these other settlements back on over to them while we retreat into the forests and kind of guard from there. If I can get Orion to hunt down Baelgar of the Kinslayers here, that'd be great, but I think he's going to be able to sneak past. We will keep Black Pit under our control.
You have orders?
We'll have Orion maybe go into a march dance and come back into the LAURELORN forest. Can't quite reach. Well, how far can you move then? Almost to the forest. Let's just move over into friendly territory then. A little bit more replenishment here than we did over at the Black Pit. And we get a little bit more upkeep production as well. So let's go ahead and grab the Sculptor's Cavern here. I think. Or do we hold off? Grab the Game Lodge instead for extra growth. This would give us more income, but I think we hold off. Back down in the Kingsglade. Ikran's going to continue to be an ambushy boy. And Viljan can start her attacks against the orcs. Two armor boys, the Bloody Suns boys. Some pretty heavily armored orcs they have coming on out to face us here. Also stone trolls, which are counting as a tier 4 infantry. Sunder armor. Okay. Luckily we've got all the combined forces of Talzin nearby. We business. Ikran, you stay here. Continue to keep a watch on the Kingsglade. And we shall probably ignore most of these upgrades as well. We will rebuild the Azrai lookout here at Middenstag, and I think we'll go ahead and pass Weissmund off to whomever we can.
Of the Empire. Now what brings you here with a sheathed blade?
I would like to give you Weissmund. And then you shall give me all the way up to a defensive alliance. Alright. I'll give you Weissmund, and yeah, you'll give me all the way up to a defensive alliance. Fair enough. That'll allow us to, any of these areas that they claim will not cause issues with the forest themselves. So yeah. And then you'll give me all your money. Also sounds good. Sounds good to me. I'm not going to waste any of our gold getting an outpost for Midland just yet. They've clearly been bullied quite a bit by the forces of chaos here. Toddbringer is now moving to take down Iglixis. Be quite the fight. He's rolling with some Drakwald and Gruncaps, which are pretty heavily armored there. Alright, well,
These are dark times.
about time to end the turn and see how things play out. Spend a bit more gold on the Hunter's Vault up here in the north, and actually, I think we will. We can definitely afford it. We'll get a little grip of gold when the grapevines do come on out, so we'll skip on through here, pass out our commandments to LAURELORN Forest, which I think shall be the Hand of Assyrian. Wisdom of Hoeth wouldn't be bad. At maximum control, we do get better growth. Let's go for the Wisdom so we get a little bit more research rate as well. And that'll be the turn. Although actually, now that we have these new lords, we can actually make them our Orion's Chosen. So Elendilling, as part of LAURELORN, you can join us as the Talon of Kurnos, as you have to be rank 3 or above to become so, and you also drop enemy leadership in the local province. Elendilling, the Talon of Kurnos, and most of these others have been kicked on out. So I think Alu we have in currently. Upkeep production for archers or upkeep production for cavalry. Let's go for archers. And then we can slot in one of these others in a moment. We'll have one of the tree men as for the Spirit of the Hunt. And that'll be good. We can kick them out whatever we want. Wonder if it really hurts their loyalty to do so. These guys don't have loyalty, but I imagine there's got to be some kind of penalty to it. Some kind of penalty indeed. Alright. That'll be the turn. Alright, the Broken Axe tribe comes on over to attempt to bring down the Arguilan forces. We would be reinforcing with all of these others from Arguilan's defenses themselves. This should be quite the fight. Give us a Pyrrhic victory, we would lose quite a few. Actually, no, we wouldn't. We would just lose a few Glade Guard of the settlement garrison. Let's see just how this one kicks off. He had a lot of scrap laying around, didn't he? Reinforced weapons for all of the Bloody Sun's boys. More armor for the Broken Teeth. Perfect vigor for most of the nasty skulkers there. This should be quite a fight. Let's get to the battle. So we are going to be forced to watch the initial battle, but how long is it going to be before we arrive? Almost 2 minutes. That's not great. Same thing with the reinforcements coming from the wood seer there. Alright, they've deployed. We've got archers in the skies. I don't think there's many archers for the greenskins. That should be a pretty good boon for us. Alright, let's get this battle going. Oh, do I get to set up their defenses? No. I'm not allowed to. I'm guessing he... Or maybe not. Interesting. Alright then, battle begin. See how our ally goes ahead and plays this defense. Greenskins, do they surge forward or are they going to wait for the reinforcements? Oh, they're thinking about it. Take a look at some of these new awesome greenskin units. Radious team put a good bit of work into these boys. Look awesome. Just some extra bits and bobs to give them a little bit more of a standout. Some bigger, definitely chunkier shields too. Armored boys. They're definitely going to sit there and wait. Where are the... Oh, we just got some normal biggins. Each wielding a weapon in either hand. Broken Tooth Armor Boys look pretty cool. They've got almost their own kind of scrap scale mail. You know the stone trolls. They perform better than other trolls, but they are still trolls, so if we can get them pinned down with lots of fire, they should obliterate. Looks like this is going to be a standoff for a moment. Which is understandable. They have some pretty nasties coming in from the back there. Another Lord is always extra deadly, too. We get our first tower. Probably not a bad idea to grab one. Where all can they go in? On the flanks. Okay, so let's throw in a tower up here. It costs 600, huh? Alright, reinforcements have arrived. Let's go ahead and throw in the tier 1 arrow tower. Our Spellslinger arrives from the side here. That's where we're going to concentrate all of our efforts. Azrai Spears, which have the ability to switch between melee attack and melee defense. So once they do get into combat, we can switch them over and start really ripping into the enemy. Let's go ahead and deploy the spears. We need to make sure they're bringing down those spiky rollers, so you guys come on around here. The War Dancers will bring mostly around to this kind of central area, and the Glade Guard can kind of work their way up the front here. Get plenty of shots in on those spiky rollers. And we'll bring some other Glade Guard to hold this center. In fact, we're going to have Glade Guard up on both. Kind of blanketing the shots down. Glade Riders come to the center area here. We need 600 to get another tower. What do the extra missile damage? Let's instead just go for the extra traps and such. So, trap here. And we can't afford the other one, so we'll wait. How's the arrow tower doing? 4 turns, or 4 seconds, I guess. Push yourself forward. We'll drop down the extra heals wherever we can. Building up these Eternal Guards sounds great. These ones are the ones that are already in combat, though, so heal up the Dryads.
Guided by nature.
These Boar Spearmen are going to get run over. Luckily, we have some reinforcements moving to that side there. We're going to send all of our Glade Riders over here. get set up.
Awaiting orders.
All right, you guys need to go ahead and we'll send just one unit in.
Understood.
Go ahead and give the scary ladies the murderous blades there.
At pace. At once. Orders.
Go ahead and move in to help out with these stone trolls.
Ready. Swiftly.
You guys hold in here. We'll throw in yet another trap. And then we can get the actual extra missile damage on this other side here. Really going for the main defense being up on top. Alright. Our archers should be forming a pretty nice layer. We can bring these Glade Riders around. Our swordsmen are all set up, ready to do all sorts of bad things to the enemy that try to come through. Can we get another trap on this side here? That'd be great. We are really keeping them bogged down. We can drop down some more heals. And then the Awakening of the Wood. Get awoken. They have a lot of armor, and the Awakening does no armor piercing, so it's not a great spell if you actually want damage.
Hunters! Swiftly!
All right, we'll bring the Glade Riders around the outside here then.
Once!
The rest of our swordsmen can move on in. I'm trying to kind of minimize damage to our own troops. These guys should be able to start firing. Lay waste. Tear apart those biggins. You guys go ahead and deal with the stone trolls, and then you guys. You can't reach anyone. How sad. Come on over here and start layering some fire with these other groups then. Meanwhile, we keep awakening the wood. Hopefully doing more damage to these night gobos. Or at least displacing them for a moment. That's not bad at all. Let's get some more missile damage for everyone in this location here. Go ahead and switch back to melee defense mode. Taking a bit of damage, but now they should be able to kind of hold in a little bit better. You move out and deal with this goblin. You go ahead and charge on in and deal with these snuttling pump wagons and do so in melee attack mode. Our others are taking a bit of damage, but you definitely need to keep them in their defensive formation. Go ahead and grab some heals on our... Oh, Azrai Spears are doing just fine. Some heals for the whole group. Those Night Gobbo archers causing a bit of an issue, but as long as these Treekin can actually get into the battle, that'll be great. Have them pushing on through into the enemy's flank there. Attack. Dodge on in. Yep, keep those shots in on their flanks. Armored or not, no one likes being shot in the back. Go ahead and pull our lovely ladies back through the trap there. Both of these mages doing nothing in the back line. Thank you for being useful. Keep exploding these night gobbos. Skadoosh. There they go. Our poor warrior spearmen have taken some damage. Go ahead and pull you guys through to help out. Take you off of melee defense mode. Melee attack mode, rather. Get all of these archers layering shots on these broken tooth boys. Make sure the stone trolls hurt. They're there on the back line. Perfect. Get down in here to the fray where the broken tooth boys fight against the warrior women of LAURELORN. I don't see too many of our own fallen. Lots of dead orcs, though. Ooh, caught between a rock and a really hard place. Lots of arrows. Looks like most of them are going through the woods. I know that there's some issues with some of our archers are supposed to be able to fire through arrows without any issues at all. That is a withering blanket of death. Shut down in the trap there. Many of the Azrai falling to hold that gap. Pretty well done, though. Love to get this upgraded too. So you just get arrow towers up to the maximum. It's just a even better arrow tower. Arrow tower supreme. Drop down some heals. And then we'll continue to explode the Night Gobbos in the back line, because everyone else is a little bit too heavily armored. I don't even think a single unit of the Night Gobbos has fallen yet. There we go, we killed our first one. We're really slow now, though. March forward, into the fray. Those boys got destroyed. Turn and switch targets to these Broken Teeth boys here. You all can go ahead and just ride down this Goblin Great Shaman. Healing them full of arrows. Stone Trolls run. Stay in. Let's cut down these Bloody Sons boys here. Fire on the Stone Trolls. They should pretty easily be able to deal with this Great Shaman. Those Broken Tooth boys are gone. Well, we will want them to kind of hold this position. Yeah, no, actually, we're fine. Charge on over. Bring down these Skulkers. Maximum melee attack. Right, Warrior Woman, charge on in and break whoever's left here. Our Glade Riders need to pull back just a bit. Go ahead and deal with these Stone Trolls. Chase them off if you can. Kane. Put in the tier 2 tower on this side, and that should pretty well see the enemy off. No problem. That's right. We'll see how many casualties our allies took, but I think we did a pretty good job of minimizing. Heal up our troops mostly if we can here. Enemy Lord's broken. Keep working your way through. Archers that aren't firing, move up, deal with these Night Gobbos. I see nothing else here. Really willing to stay and fight. They all flee. Pull away from these Stone Trolls, though. Those are just Skulkers. Either way, we'd rather not get charged down by some free armor piercing. Awaken the Wood one final time there. That should see them off. We are still having to blend through these units here. If we can take down this Lord, the Orc War Boss, that would be pretty great. Pretty huge hit to their leadership. Blade Guard, come on down and start firing in this position. You guys come on through and hang out while we see the rest of these fools off. The Trolls are back, so we want to keep fighting in the woods here if we can. Chase the Trolls all the way off. Go ahead and do the same with these Broken Teeth armored boys. Heals in 7 seconds. Absolute monster mash down here. Freakin' doing more friendly fire damage than anything else. We have some halberds in here, you can see them. Should be fighting pretty well against the Treekin, not so well against the Branch Raves, though. I'll get caught up not coming down here and doing what I asked them to do. Interesting. We'll drop down some more heals. Awaken the Wood on these Trolls as they come on in, which should just slow them down. A little bit of damage and slow them down. Lovely. And that's the victory. Sweet. We'll chase these Trolls off. Do as much damage to these greenskins as we can. I will see you all in a moment. Alright, a decisive victory. We actually lost far more than the Auto-Resolve initially thought we would. Several more of the Eternal Guards. We even lost a unit of our own War Dancers. And 2 of the Great Eagles fell in combat there. But was a marvelous victory. We turned the greenskins away. We shall go ahead and take all of the extra captives. Definitely take the replenishment there. And Midden Stag is under attack by a huge combined force of the Chaos lads here. Would we have much of a chance? Be on the open field. Reinforcements would arrive in 1 minute and 47. It would give us a close defeat. We are in march stance, and we are going to be extra tired. What I am going to do, and this is going to be kind of controversial, I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. We will be back. I do not care so much about the armies that are that we got from the deal with LAURELORN. I kind of only expected to get LAURELORN Forest out of it, so we'll go ahead and let these guys fall. They shall be remembered. Urgig also under attack though, and this is a battle we cannot allow to be a victory for Nurgle. So in the next episode, we shall start ourselves off with a battle against Festus. For now though, I am out of time for today. I've been Space Wizard Total War. Remember to leave a like for the light god and a sub for the sub zone, and I will see you on the next one.